Hi guys, wanted to quickly show you how to create an inquiry form. So originally we were going to do a little bit more complex form, and we are going to do some PHP, and we were going to do an SQL database. Because of coronavirus and the fact that we're closing the college, we're just going to do a very, very simple HTML form and not worry about the complexities that we were originally going to do. So this is what we're going to do. I've already done a little hand-drawn plan of what I want my form to look like. Super simple. Remember, it's just an inquiry form for the subject that you're doing your website on. A little submit button and some GDPR stuff in there as well. So that's kind of what I'm aiming to build. So let's look at the code that I've started. Okay, so I'm just going to have a whole page dedicated to the form, which is this page. Which is fine. You can do it like this. You can do it as a part of a page if you prefer. I've created a div for it. So I've called it inquiry form. You can call your div whatever you like, but always worthwhile putting these things in sections on their own. And I've put a bit of a heading and some paragraph font in. And it's sitting over this side. I want everything to be drawn into the middle. So I'm just going to change my width. Again, you do what you like. I'm just showing you a few techniques. You know how to do all this though. So I'm going to change that and see if we can draw that in a bit more. Let's go for 50%. Okay, so I've kind of got it where I want it, and I'm going to draw the form underneath in here. So I'm going to start off with the form tag. So that's going to be the start of my form, and I've already conveniently put the end of form tag in already. Because I've been practicing. So all my form features are going to go inside the form start tag and end tag. And I'm going to start off with a label. And I'm going to call it name. Oops, name. So label for name. Now, name is going to be the name of one of my form features. Then I've got name. That's what's going to appear on the screen. It's going to be a required field, so I'm going to put it as a little star in there, and then like that. And then I'm going to end my label. So we'll have a look and see if that's what's so far. There it is. So I've got the word name. Okay, so now I'm going to create a little text box over here on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and now create my input. And this is an input type equals text. So this is a little text box. It's not a text area. Normally in a form, you will name all the parts of the form, and this will match what I've given the label for. So the name of this particular form feature is name. Let's save that. Have a look at that. And there is my little text box just there. Okay, so I'm going to just put another one underneath, and I'm going to do it again. In fact, I'm just going to steal that code and copy and paste it down to save a little bit of time. So now my next field is called email, and I've named it. So the label is for email. This text area is called email, and the text that's going to appear on the browser window is called email address, and I'll go and refresh that, and I've put it next door. So we'll do one more, and then I'll see if that's how I want to. In fact, I don't want to lay it out like this. I want email address to appear underneath. So this is how you can change the layout a little bit. So I'm just going to put in what we call breaks. So I'm going to put a BR in the front of that one, and I'm going to end my break there, end of BR. I'm going to put another. Okay, I'll see what that looks like first. Now it sits underneath, fine, but it's far too close together. So I'm going to put another break in between to give it a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to put a BR in here. and oops, and then an end of BR at the end. And you can see that now it's got a gap between. Okay, so now we've got those two text areas. I'm going to create a bigger text area to actually ask people to write their question in. So I'm going to start with a break to give a little gap. Then we're going to do a label. And this time it's going to be for an area called question. And then I'm going to put in the words I want, which is inquiry. Again, I want it to be a required field, so I'm going to pop a wee star in there, and I'm going to end the label. Oops. And then just check on that, make sure it is okay. And there is my label sitting there, and I'm going to have a text area, not just a wee text box this time. So now I'm going to have a new bit of code, which is text area. And we're going to give it a name like we did before, and it's going to be called question, like the label. So they kind of tie up and are matched up together. This time I'm going to give it some rows and columns. So this will adjust how big it is. So my rows are going to be 10 at the moment. We'll change this in a second. And my columns are going to be 20. And then I'm going to end that. This bit of text here is going to appear inside the text area. And then I'm going to end the text area. Okay. So save that and have a look and see what's going on now. Okay, so we've got a text box and we've got the label. Not happy with the way that's laid out, so I'm going to change that a little bit. So at the end of my label there, I'm going to end my break and see if that's made a difference. Okay, now I want to make it a wee bit wider. So instead of 20 columns, I'm going to put it up to 40 columns, and you'll see the difference. It gets a little bit wider like that. Okay, that's fine at the moment. Now let's have a look at my hand drawn. So I've got my name, my email, inquiry. Now I'm going to have a little checkbox and some GDPR stuff, and then a link at the bottom there. It doesn't go anywhere, but it's giving the impression that there is a policy, a privacy policy in there, and then a button at the bottom. So let's go and fix this. So now I want to put in my text box. So I'm going to start another break. And this one is called an input type equals text box. Sorry, checkbox. There we go. In Google Classroom and on the study directory, I'll put a couple of links in so you can have a look at the code as well. GDPR, I'm going to call it GDPR because that's what it is. Okay, and let's save that. And not there, here. And then I've got a little checkbox sitting there. So now I'm going to give it a label. And we're going to say label is for GDPR. And it's going to say check this box to confirm. You don't have to use those words, please use your own. But you do have to have a bit of awareness of GDPR. We'll have a quick look at that. Check this box to confirm you've read the privacy policy. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to end my break there. We are. And that's going to give me a little bit of space. And then I'm actually going to put in that privacy policy link as well. href. So this is a hyperlink reference it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm just going to pop a hashtag in there. So this is just to make it look like we have a link to a privacy policy. As I say, because we're doing a little bit of a cut down version of the project, we're not going to write a privacy policy. We're just going to show what we could do if we wanted to. And we're going to end the break there as well. So now I've got name, email, inquiry, check this box to confirm you've read the privacy policy, and then there's a fake hyperlink. It's not really there, but it looks okay. And the final thing I need, according to my plan, is a submit button. So we're going to pop that in quickly at the bottom. So now we have another break to give it a gap above. This time the input type is submit. Nice simple one here. The value is submit. And then finally, we just need to end it and end the break. So we pair that up. So this input type submit will just create a little button, save. If I can find it, that'd be good. There it is. And refresh. And there's a button. Oh, not done that right. Silly me. That goes like that. Save that. Refresh. There's our submit button at the bottom. Again, it's not going to do anything because we're doing the cut down version of the project. And then finally, at the very end of our form is the end of form. So we've got nice pairs here. We've got form to form. There's my div inquiry to the end of div. Just tidy up my code a little bit, and you can now see the code I've used to create a little form. So that's the sort of thing we want. Nice and simple. Do your own design. Hop onto the web to find out ways to format it and make it look pretty. And we want something nice and simple and straightforward, just like that. Good luck.